Hey, good morning to everybody. Happy Thursday. It's Daryl here. It is bright and freaking early. It's 3:29 a.m. here in Connecticut on the East Coast. Okay, today I'm going to talk about one very specific thing. Wait, before I get into that, I'm going to do a second video today. I don't like doing that because usually it seems like the views get split between the two videos. And each video, if I do two in one day, it seems to me like each video gets half the views. And I don't like doing that usually, but I'm going to today because I need to tell you guys some news on the channel. I want to tell you guys about the social media platform that I was kicked off forever. It's so ridiculous. It was because of a recovery video that I did here. I was invited onto what I haven't had time to investigate this YouTube channel, but I was invited onto a show, a very, it looks like a very popular. It looks like they get anywhere from 30,000 views a day to 100,000, 200,000 per video. Right-wing, right-leaning channel. I don't want to talk. I haven't had time to investigate, so I've been invited on this show, and I want to ask you guys about it. Also, I'm going on vacation to Rhode Island, to Watch Hill, to parts of Rhode Island, and I'm leaving tomorrow. So I'll be doing the show from the beach from Rhode Island, which should be amazing. Okay, so that's the next video. Okay, so today's video, I'm going to talk about one very specific thing. This picture, Trump's basement, the carpet, the documents. They have cover sheets. They're spread out on the floor. There's I believe a cardboard box, the you store files in, all right? And it's sitting there, and I believe there's like framed Time magazine covers, okay? Let me tell you first what I see. As soon as I looked at this, what I saw. I could see that the FBI agents were serving a search warrant. They were going through storage boxes, file boxes, which was, I imagine, what they would do. They take the file, they find these with the cover sheets labeled top secret. Now, because half the country is screaming about a second civil war and threats against the FBI and all this other stuff, I imagine they want to show the evidence. Like, look, this wasn't for nothing. This wasn't political. This is why we came here. Plus, for evidence, right? Just like if they did a search in my home for narcotics or something like that, right? I'll get into that more in a second. All right. So now I can't believe I have to explain this to Trump supporters or people that watch Fox News. But they have to take the documents because these documents, piece of paper and cardboard, are basically two-dimensional. They can only be seen from the front and the back. There's no real third dimension side view. You can't see them. So you have to take them out of the box and lay them down in order to see what you have, to photograph it. You cannot photograph them from the top looking down just at edgewise, at piece of paper in a box, because they're two-dimensional. It doesn't work that way. So that you have to spread them out to actually see what you have there. Okay? And like I said, this reminds me of pictures, countless pictures I've seen. When places, drug houses, labs are raided up here in the States, or especially down in Mexico or in South America, where they set up these tables and they have the drugs, they have the money, they have the firearms, everything all just laid out like one big story. And if you don't live in America, a lot of times they do the perp walk right in front of the table, which is a gross violation of innocent until proven guilty, of course. But they put the cartel leaders in front of the table, so it's just a nice, neat package right there. Okay, so I'm looking over. I'll have all the clips down below, tweets, and Donald Trump himself is complaining. I can't believe he actually says this. So he doesn't talk. They don't talk about the documents at all. They talk a little bit, but I'll get into that in a second. Trump himself says, and it's rather, it's not these aren't his words, but it's very suspicious. Like they were trying to blame me that they didn't find him all scattered on the floor like that. They're trying to blame me for having a dirty basement and scattering the files all over my floor. I didn't do that. This is very manipulative and dishonest of the FBI. This is a line of bull, man. I'm going to talk more. This reminds me of when I used to use, all right? like say the police would search my car, right? And they tore out the back seat. They literally tore the whole car apart a couple times, and they ended up finding something in a Coke can, a can of soda. And I start complaining. Well, look at the back seat. Why did you guys tear that back seat out? I'm not talking about what they found. But you destroyed my car. You didn't have to do that. There was nothing in that back seat. How dare you? You're going to get the bill for this. It's destruction of property. It's vandalism. You're guilty. That's what this reminds me of. It's subterfuge. It's manipulation. He's not talking about the obvious. Some of these, from what I understand, are some of the most highly classified documents there are that endanger people's lives and classified missions overseas and here in the States. Right? He should not have had these, right? Then the affidavit, his legal team admits that for like a year, the DOJ and FBI have been asking for these documents back, and they've been getting nothing but lies and misinformation. They knew they had good, solid leads that Trump brought this stuff home, and it'd be there. You guys know how all the Trump supporters are talking about everything but the legal documents. Who's it? Dan Boyango. He's just listing all of the FBI agents that Trump himself hired back 2 years ago. Comey and all those other ones, and all the questionable things that they've done. On Fox News, they're not talking about the documents at all. They're just talking about how they were laid on the floor. There's one person. I'll put all the clips down below from Twitter. One Trump supporter is saying that, well, what does that Time magazine have to do with anything? That's what's that all about? Why is that there? And so they're pointing out everything and anything except the actual evidence right there on the table. You guys know how I use empathy, right? And this is just like if my house was searched, and they took a picture of everything they found. Say they found bottles of pills from 20 different doctors going back 10 years, and all this other stuff. They piled it on a table and took pictures of it. And I sat there and said, of course they have to cover up the doctors' names and stuff. And I sat there and complained about, well, what are you trying to hide? Why are you trying to hide the doctors' names? And you're just trying to frame me. Look at this. That's not my table. That's that's their table. How dare they put my drugs on their table? They're trying to lie on me. It's ridiculous to the lengths they go through. And the cultism is just unbelievable. Like I really liked Bill Clinton as a president. I thought I loved him. I loved that he went to McDonald's. I loved that he jogged, all that stuff. When I saw him lie, I did not have sexual relations with that woman. That was it. I was like, you're an idiot. I never had unfaltering allegiance to anybody. Except maybe my maker, and trust in myself. That's about it. It's amazing how these guys will defend. Now it's everybody else is evil. The FBI. It's amazing how the FBI is now, illegitimate and evil and should this all this terrible stuff about the FBI. When it was Hillary had her and her emails, right? Wasn't that about security? She had supposedly she had unclassified information, or she just had an unclassified phone. I don't think there was even information on the phone, or there was emails that were washed, or they never found them, or whatever, right? And back then, the FBI was great and fantastic, and all this other stuff. It's just their allegiance to this cult figure. Like, this guy does no wrong. They have complete blinders on to anything he does. Just the fact that I see that this guy, it's obvious to me. He's arrogant and he's a narcissist, and he holds grudges. We've seen that time and time again. If anybody says the least word or shows the least bit of losing allegiance to him, bam, 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 he nails them. So is it that far of a leap to think that, geez, after he's out of office, he doesn't have this power anymore, right? He's got enemies, that he would bring home ammunition to use on those enemies. Is he that kind of guy, you think? You think he might be that kind of guy? if anybody on earth is that kind of guy, is Donald J. Trump. You know, it just amazes me. I had family members I was talking to the other day, and they're talking about the most bizarre stuff now because they don't have a leg to stand on. You know, he's cold busted with the documents that they asked from back. There's pictures of him, of this top secret stuff that could hurt the United States, hurt United States citizens, hurt United States agents. And, you know, they're talking about the carpet or Time Magazine or whatever. It's just, it's the cultism is unbelievable. So my family member brings up, well, Trump wants to elect a special game warden or a special warden or a special master or whatever that's called. Okay, say they busted my house and they found a lab, right? And I had all the recipes to make something I shouldn't be making, right? So what if my defense was, I want all this stuff public? I want, you know, because you'll never find public information on these recipes or all the ingredients for this stuff because they don't want people. It's dangerous. They don't want people. This is information the public just shouldn't have. And Trump supporters are like, all this information should be made public. You know, and plus Trump should have his own special person look over all this information to make sure it's top secret. You know, that's a moot point right now because those agencies already made it top secret. The agencies that deal in this specific information said, this is top secret. This shouldn't be seen. But now Trump and his supporters want a special master to look over it. And I assume publicly publish all this information, which would put the entire country at risk. And does this master have any, you know, it's a moot point. This stuff has already been labeled top secret. It's already been classified by the channel, all the channels it was supposed to go through. So this whole special master thing is just, it's subterfuge and manipulation. And these Trump supporters just have these blinders on when they're dealing with their cult master. Unfreaking believable. It's scary. If it wasn't so funny, it's scary. All right. I'll be back later with another video today. You guys have a great Thursday.